The pavilions in this area were all built into antique buildings. The White family spent hundreds of millions to decorate them. They are usually used to receive distinguished guests or entertain friends. Outside the pavilion by the lake, there are dozens of yellow rosewood chairs. A dozen invited guests have sat down and communicating with each other, and laughter came from time to time. Sitting in the main seat is a fat middle-aged man. He is Fred White's father, Solomon White. And sitting beside him was Mr. Jingai. In addition to these two people, Charlie also met two acquaintances, Tai Lai, the richest man in Haicheng, and Guo Ming, who followed him. Seeing Charlie coming in, Tai Lai nodded to Charlie. Solomon White glanced at him sideways and snorted coldly. Obviously, he also knew that Fred and Gerald had suffered a loss at Charlie's hands, so seeing Charlie, he didn't have a good face. Fungi Bao quickly stood up to greet him and said, "Mr. Charlie, Miss Song, you are here." Charlie nodded and said with a smile, "Come and see the style of Master Jingai." A middle-aged man in a long gown asked in surprise, "This is the buyer who took the finale at the auction with the billions?" Fungi Bao smiled and introduced, "It is Mr. Wade." "What? Mr. Wade?" Solomon White glanced at Charlie disdainfully, and then smiled. Now the name of Master Wade is almost worthless. Any kind of waste can call himself a master, and he is truly capable like Mr. Jingai. The master, but so low-key. As soon as he finished speaking, the crowd was embarrassed. It wasn't that Solomon White deliberately belittled him, it was indeed that Charlie could not be called a master, regardless of age or style of clothing. And all masters present here are almost all defiant people in the metaphysical world. To let them and Charlie, a young man, call out, "Master Wade," many people here are unhappy. Mr. Jingai stood up and smiled calmly, "It's okay. I want to take advantage of the king's place to host this banquet. I also want to get together with you. As for who is the real master and who is the one who is worthy of fame, I will wait. It's natural to see the difference." After hearing Mr. Jinghai's words, everyone present couldn't help but sneer at Charlie. This kind of hairy boy is not just for fame, but what else can it be? Warnya also frowned slightly. She knew that Mr. Jingai would target Charlie, but she did not expect that the atmosphere would be so solemn as soon as she entered. However, Charlie looked cold, walked up to his chair and sat down without squinting. He didn't know everything around him. When Solomon White saw that everyone was there, he said, "Since everyone is here, then I will tell you that today, Mr. Jingai took advantage of our White's place to host this banquet. First, I wanted to get to know you, and second, too, I want to learn from everyone." "How to compare?" someone asked. "Naturally is based on the level of magic." At this time, Mr. Jingai stood up and explained, "The rules are very simple. As we all know, there are 5 disciplines in our metaphysics. You can choose the category you are good at and choose your opponent to compete. In order to be more formal, the funds are sponsored by the White family. Each contest has a prize of 5 million. Whoever wins will take away 5 million, and the loser will also have 50,000 horses. This rule is reasonable, and money can be made." Many people nodded in agreement. People in the metaphysical circles usually do their own things, and the cards will not be easily revealed. Today, the people who come to the banquet are all capable people in the metaphysical circles. Everyone gathers together to compete. Not only can they find out about each other's details, but also get bonuses and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Just to learn from each other? Charlie sneered slightly. He didn't think that Mr. Jingai held today's banquet just to prove his prowess. After Solomon White waited for everyone to discuss it, he continued, "However, setting up a bonus alone may not arouse everyone's enthusiasm. After all, everyone has a wealth, and there is no shortage of these millions. So, in order to make everyone more motivated, there is an additional condition. That is, the winner either chooses to take away the 5 million bonus, or take away something from the loser. The one who wins in the end is the first sage in the metaphysical circle of Nongguang area. From now on, all the cult people in Nongguang area will respect him. Anything large and small in the area will be respected with the consent of the person." As soon as he finished speaking, the whole yard was quiet. For a moment, there was a commotion again, and many people showed upset expressions and started talking. What if the challenger chooses a category that the challenged party is not good at? The metaphysical world in Nangguang area respects the first. Isn't this looting for territory? Isn't this funny? In the profound arts world in Nangguang area, we have always been accustomed to our own way. Now it is really nonsense to take orders from others. Besides, there are people who are not from Nangguang, right? There was a lot of discussion among the crowd, and they did not expect that this so-called banquet was actually a Hongmen banquet that Mr. Jingai wanted to dominate the Nangguang Academy.